What's up, everybody? It is the Best Bot Kiss Move, and I am back with another video. And today, man, I want to talk about the Callisto protocol and why you should give it a second chance. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I played this game, I would say late last year. It was one of the last games I beat of 2022. It didn't make my top 10 best games list. I think it was definitely top 5, top 3, if I'm mistaken. I don't know where it headed, but it was definitely in my, I believe it fell into my top 5 for the year. The game was the Callisto protocol. It's a horror action game, or horror action game pretty much, and it was from the original developers of Dead Space. I think Glenn Schofield or something like that. He kind of led this one. I think the studio that made this game is Crafton. I think they're fairly new. But, you know, heavy, you know, Dead Space inspiration, but it had its own take. So it wasn't like a copycat, or like, you know, we wish we could make Dead Space 4 and this was it. No, it is its own game. Just to give you a little summary of what the game is about. You play is this character, Jacob Lee. He's a pilot, and they were supposed to, you know, I guess deliver something I forgot. I don't know if it was they were supposed to deliver something to the prison, but they were supposed to be going to some planet, and the planet is I think, what's the name of the planet? It's in like Jupiter's galaxy of Jupiter. I don't know, but when they take games off of Earth, that's when things sort of gets weird with me. So but anyway, obviously it's humans that are, you know, you're playing as, and the you play as Jacob. You unfortunately, you know, things happen on a ship. You guys crash and you're taken into a maximum security prison, which is all corrupted. You know what I mean? It's run by, you know, high-ranking like military members and robots. And he's taken into, you know, pretty much prison. And then, you know, after they implant this thing in his neck, you know, he wakes up and it's a wreck. You know what I mean? Things is happening, all chaos, you know, zombie-like creatures is roaming around. And then from there, he has to, you know, escape the prison, and that happens, you know, with the help of, you know, some surviving guards and the person of interest that also that they were after earlier in the game. So let's talk about why I think you should give this game a second chance. So there's a couple of things that this game has going for it, and a reason why you may be listening to this video, because you probably dropped the game, right? A couple people dropped the game. A lot of people wrote it off. When the game launched, it did have like some bugs, you know, some performance issues, and people fell out of love with the mechanics, which the game mechanics and the gameplay style, you either love it or you hate it. It's very polarizing. So after a couple, I want to say, you know, maybe a week or so, they did, you know, fix up the bugs. You know, they added ray tracing on the Xbox properly. They fixed the performance issues. They sped up some of the animations because that was a complaint and whatnot. And now, but I feel like the game that we got today is the game they intended to deliver, and I'm just fine with it. So this game does take you out, you know, the elements. It's not a shoot 'em up. It's pretty much a melee focused action game where, you know, dodging and avoiding, you know, contact, evasiveness plays a key role. Timing your swing, you know what I mean? You can't just, you know, spam the swing button and whatnot, and then you got to use your arsenal, your guns wisely, because they're not like packed with like hundreds of, you know, ammo and whatnot. So in the game, you know, what you get is you get like really a polished, you know, game, a new type of game. The story is pretty damn good. Like I said, there's some things that happen that I mentioned in my previous video in the story towards the end that kind of like take things down a bit, but you know, overall the production quality, the character models, the graphics are just on point. I have nothing against the graphics. Even the performance mode, I feel like is the best way to play. Obviously, I know ray tracing in there, but I've long said ray tracing is overrated. I played my first playthrough through the performance mode, and then I started, new game plus maximum security. I started in the performance mode and then switched to the ray tracing mode just to see if there's anything worthwhile. Not really, switch back. But the game, if you're looking for something new and just something to get you through a week and just a good play, the Callisto Protocol is it. I'm in my second playthrough. I think I got like 3/4 of the way through the game, like within like 2 hours. And I mean, obviously it's new game plus, so I know the game and whatnot. But I think the average first playthrough is going to be somewhere between 6 to 8 hours. And I don't mind short games if they're good. If you're going to be a short game, that means every minute you're playing, it has to keep you on toes. It has to keep you on edge. It has to keep you engaged. And they do that. I think players who get around like the controls and the combat and the way the combat works, I feel like players who get used to it will find that this is a very serviceable game. I think right now is a good time to get onto it. I think it's on it might be on sale. They just released a new game plus mode. It does set for a challenge. I think you should try it on a regular difficulty, and then it might be worth it to go through the maximum security, which isn't really too hard. And this is coming from me. I think it does a lot of things right. I feel like a lot of the criticism of this game that occurred, granted, with highly anticipated games, the minute it does something wrong, it is, a lot of people power drive on it and whatnot. And I felt like they did a good job, rebounding. And it is a good game. There's nothing about the Callisto Protocol that I think is bad at this point. I think they delivered the vision that they wanted to do. They've offered an alternative gameplay style that sets itself apart from the upcoming Dead Space remake. I think graphically, not many games can, stand next to it, and it's just overall a fun game. And I definitely recommend it. I haven't done like a formal review of this game. This was the type of a game that I just sat down and enjoyed, but I recorded a ton of gameplay for some reason. I did enjoy it, especially when you get into the second half of the game. You get out of the prison suit and you get into more of the military grade suits and whatnot. The game, just does a lot of things right. And after I was done with it, I was like, man, this was actually better than I thought it was. You know what I mean? I've complained, I think, earlier with my early experiences. Felt the game, could have dragged a little bit, but that was just more so me rather than the game. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the game did, like I said, much with some few issues, like the reload animation was too long, the switching weapons animation was way too long. They've reduced that, so this is now a more serviceable game. And I definitely think, a lot of people clearly didn't play it. A lot of people clearly didn't finish it. And I think right now would be a good time to get on the game. Like I said, it's a nice game to get through, on a weekend. And if this is with 2023 being, packed with a bunch of games that's coming around a corner, I think right now, month of January, just knock it out. It is a good game. I recommend it. I wish they wasn't against Game Pass and whatnot, because that would have been a lot more people would have played it. But either way, it's worth the purchase. You can probably find it on sale now. I really got nothing but good things to say about it. I just realized I really didn't have any content related to the Callisto Protocol, and it was one of the games that I did enjoy last year. And this is one of the rare things where I'm going back to beat the game again. I've only done that with a couple of games. I'm going for the 100% completion, and I know they just added another 20 gamer score because of new game plus. So yeah, man, just check it out. Let me know your thoughts on the Callisto Protocol. If there's like anything that let me know the reason why you dropped it, the reason why you haven't continued, or the reason why you loved it. I want to hear both sides of the story. Right now, I started out on the game as really a hater and then played it, kind of enjoyed it, and then by the end of it, I was very, very satisfied, and it was a top 5 game of 2022 for me, definitely. But that's the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or goodbye. good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.